biology.
So here we are doing the male reproductive system. So here you can see the diagram of the male reproductive system. Here you can see the penis, scrotum, testis, the vas deferens, and the ureter node. So here the role for each organ is written here. The testis is the primary male organ, a male reproductive organ. So it's very important for the boys and men. Here it helps in the formation of sperms and hormones. The hormones of male is called testosterone. They help in producing changes when we reach puberty, that is at the age of 13 to 14 years old. 14 to 15. Yeah. The changes we are just seen in this males is this hair will be growing in the body,
Genital parts.
and under armpits and all. Then we receive mustache, and also pimples will be there. And occasionally here the penis will enlarge at occasions. Here, so the role for the testis is formation of sperms and testosterone. Here next is the scrotum, which is the outer layer protecting the testis, and it's external. So the scrotum provides optimal temperature for the this formation of sperms at 1 to 3 degrees Celsius. That is not way lower, but lower than the body temperature. So it helps the testis do the formation of sperms and hormones, and which is 1 to 3 degrees Celsius. Next we have the vas deferens. That is the long tube which is connected to the testis and will go reach the bladder. Bladder is the storage of urine and also the sperm, but the main storage of sperm is an organ called seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle helps store the sperm and releases out through the passage which is connected to the penis. We'll get to that later. Next we have the urethra, the common passage. That is where it is connected. The urethra is connected the bladder to the penis, which is a passage for both urine and sperms. Next we have the penis. Penis here is the external male genital organ or the part for males, and it is a common passage. It has a common way where the urine and the sperm go out. Now the thing is, how does the sperm come out? And what is the role of the seminal vesicle and the prostate gland? So the prostate gland and seminal vesicle helps in the formation and the transport, not formation but the transport of sperms. But how do they help in this transport? By putting a layer, a liquid type substance which helps the sperm to move smoother and faster. Hence that is the role for the seminal vesicle and the prostate gland. Now we'll move to the female reproductive system. So the female reproductive system here you can see the diagram of the female reproductive system. As you can see here is the uterus, the zone, here is the cervix, and here is the vagina. Here these two are ovaries, and here are the oviduct or the fallopian tube. So for ovaries there are two pairs, fallopian also two pairs, but for these two, one. So their role, what they play in the reproductive system is ovaries, primary female organ. They are the most important organ of the female. Here their important role is the formation of ovules and hormones, similar to the testes in the male reproductive organ. So here, for the formation of ovule, it will produce ova or eggs. And hormones are two types, estrogen and progesterone. These two and the ova are produced in the ovary section. What happens next? After they are formed, they go to the next organ, that is the oviduct or the fallopian tube, which is a long tube that carries the ova or the hormone to the next area, which is the uterus. The uterus is responsible for receiving the embryo, the developed embryo. not yet, but when the ovaries reach there, they turn into matured ova or the ovules, ready to get fertilized. So when they reach here in this zone, it becomes thick. So when it receives sperm, becomes mature, forms in a zygote, and hence forms an embryo. Next we have the lower part. This is a narrow passage where the sperm receives and goes to the uterus. So here is called the cervix. And next, cervix is the passage. But when you want to protect yourself using this contraceptive methods, like you want to protect yourself from getting pregnant, then they use 3 types: condoms, then cervical caps, and another one sponge and diaphragm. Diaphragm or the condom and cervical cap will fix here. Cervical cap and also the diaphragm, they are applied a gel-like liquid which kills sperms. They are called spermicide. So it will prevent the body, prevent the uterus forming an embryo, the ova. So it won't get contact with the ova, and hence no embryo, no zygote, no babies. That's a way to not get pregnant. Anyway, next we have the uterus. Okay, uterus I think I told. Anyway, the shape is a hollow pear-shaped organ where the birth is formed, embryo develops. I have told. Next we have the vagina. After the cervix is the vagina. Here it is called the birth canal because it will receive the sperms. The male organ will go inside and receive the sperm and reach here. So once it receives the sperm, it forms in the zygote. So it will go back. So when the sperm goes here, the ova reacts to it, forms and goes to the oviduct and go to the ovary, come back, and the zygote will be formed in the fallopian tube. So how does it work exactly? How does the fertilization happen? So first, the ova is produced in the ovaries, but it has something called the follicle. The ovary produces this ovary follicle. They are responsible for turning to matured follicle and surround the ova, go to the uterus, and they be ready for fertilization. When the sperm meets the matured follicle, it will form into a zygote. The zygote, what I told, is first produced in the oviduct or the fallopian tube. Then it reaches the uterus, and once more connect to each other, they form into an offspring. The reason why the vagina is also called the birth canal is because that's where the offspring will come out. That's where the baby will come out. And mind you, it's very, very tough job taking the baby out. So I'm guessing anyway, next will be, so the fertilization of the female, how it happens is the ovary produces the ovary follicle, turns into matured follicle, surrounds the ova. That is called the ovulation. That means it's ready to be fertilized. So it surrounds the ova, get ready to receive the sperm. Another thing, when it is ready, it forms in a thick layer, as you can see here, or you can check in Google, that this structure is made by the mature ova. So it forms in thick layer, but when it is not fertilized or it has not received the sperm, then they will the blood vessels inside will burst, and all those will form thick layer of blood, and it will go roughly out of the vagina. So that is called menstruation or the menstrual cycle. That happens to 28 or 30 days. And the 14th day is where the matured ova is ready and forms a thick layer. Now, when it starts, is called the menarche, meaning when it's ready to menstruate. That is called the menarche period, and it happens when it reaches 10 to 12. That means the puberty. So when that happens, this will be thick, not fertilized, the blood will form and go up. And might it's a rough disease. So that's pretty much hard. Then we have the menopause. The menopause is meaning when the menstruation finally stops at the age of 50. That is for old women when they are not received sperm for a long time, then that menstruation will stop completely for permanent. But there are periods where menstruation may stop temporarily. That is when the woman gets pregnant. Only then will the ovulation and the menstruation will stop. But it will start again once the offspring is born and is moved out. Only then will the ovulation and the maturation begin. That is the fertilization for the zygote. Then next, the fertilization in human beings are internal. They are not external like frogs or lizards, whatever. They are internal. So when the sperm is over, forms a zygote here. So that is zygote will be formed, the ovula reaches here. When the remaining comes, it will form together and creates the offspring. That is called the implantation. Meaning all the zygotes here will be receiving that, the zygotes will be received here, combined, form the embryo, combined, but yeah. Then hence when the zygote is ready, it will form the offspring will be formed. Doing the contraceptive methods and how to protect your health from reproductive diseases. Let's go. So here we have the reproductive health diseases here. The process, the diseases which are transmitted sexually are called sexual transmitted diseases. Simple enough. The full form, the short form is STDs. There are two types. One is bacterial and viral. Bacterial infections of STDs are gonorrhea and syphilis. Gonorrhea, syphilis. They are responsible for bacterial infections of STDs. Then the other one, that is the viral infections. We have here the warts, not that physics warts, not the warts here. Warts. W-A-R-T-S. Warts. Then the other one is HIV and AIDS. Here HIV's full form is human immunodeficiency virus. As for AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Of course, both of them are little different, but they are connected. So how they transmitted, how the sexual transmitted diseases are transmitted. When two people, male and female, undergo sexual intercourse, you may not know if the partner you're doing the sexual intercourse is infected. You don't know if it got AIDS, HIV, or gonorrhea, anything related to STDs. You don't know if he or she is infected. So if you undergo that guy, then yeah, you're also gonna get that. Then not only by sexual intercourse, even different casing that this, and also it can be infected through this infected needle. Like when you take injection, you don't know if it's clean or not, so it might have one of the STDs. Then through blood transfusion, you want to take blood, you don't know if that person's blood is infected or not. Then also it can be even water, also anything, even glass, if it's touched by that person, you're also going to get it. So hence they can be infected through any of these conditions. Now how to prevent that? There are a lot of contraceptive methods which not only help us prevent these type of diseases, but also helps in controlling the population. Right now in this world we are having high population. Deforestation is happening for civilization, for us to live. Then huge number of people is there, which means a lot of money has to go. A lot of kids are there, so you have to pay a lot of money for their education, dress, resources. So hence, how do we control the population? And not only that, there are people who don't want kids, and sometimes unwanted pregnancy happens. So how to prevent that? So the solution is by a few methods given by the WHO or WHO, that is who? World Health Organization. They help develop a few methods which would prevent pregnancy and prevent us from getting sexual transmitted diseases, which is important. Now let's see how do we control the population. So how do we control the population? Here is given a mind map of how to control the population growth. Here are the 4 methods. One of them is chemical method. Here you can use oral pill or vaginal pill. See, this vaginal pill, it prevents the ova meeting the sperms, so it won't form the zygote. Fertilization will happen. Hence, the implementation may fail, and hence no baby, no offspring is safe. The other one, oral pills work in the same way, but the sperm won't exactly release out. I mean, it'll be there, but it won't react with the ova. Also safe. Next, we have the barrier method. So in this barrier method, there are 3 ways. There are a 4th one, but that's not, protective against this STDs. But one of them is condom, diaphragm, and the cervical caps. The cervical caps. So condom is like a balloon type structure, but it will cover the main organ, that is the penis. So it won't release our sperms. Also, it can be used in the uterus. Not uterus, in the vagina, it will fit inside, so the sperms won't meet it. The next one we have is the diaphragm. I have explained this when I was teaching about the female reproductive system. That's why it will fit inside the cervix, but that diaphragm, it's like a cup-like shape. So it's like a cup-like shape, but it has to be applied with a gel, as I told before, spermicide, which will kill the sperms. So hence, no zygote is formed. Next, we have the cervical caps. Same procedure must be applied with the spermicide, but it will fit inside the vagina or the cervix, either. Then, the 4th one I was coming to, it is called a sponge. Sponge is not there in NCERT textbook, but I am just telling this for reference. If you want to search more about it, you can ask Google, or you can ask ChatGPT. I don't think they allow. Okay. Anyway, your choice. Anyway, the sponge I was talking about. Sponge is responsible for. It will absorb the sperms and also helps in, causing pregnancy, but it won't protect you against STDs like AIDS or HIV. It won't protect you against those. So it's not entirely protective against. But next we have the surgical method. There are 2 types of methods for the surgical. One is tubectomy in females, and other one is vasectomy for males. So how does this work? So vasectomy, how does it help? It ties the vas deferens. As I showed in the previous image, here's one image. You see they tied it so the sperm won't be transported to the urethra and to the penis. So it won't be released out. Hence those 2 of them will be tied. Two. Then next we have the tubectomy. The tubectomy has the same procedure. It will tie the fallopian. Hence no ovaries, no ovulation will be proceeded. Next we have the IUCD, which is similar to the surgical and the chemical, but it's a different procedure. The full form of IUCD is intrauterine contraceptive method. Device. Intrauterine contraceptive device. Method is a device. So The only device for that is copper tape. I think there will be new ones. You can check that for reference. But the NCERT syllabus, it is copper tape. Copper tape is a copper, tiny copper, but yeah, but it will be the T shape. Yeah, here I got it. Here the T is there. You can see the T shape inside the uterus, and it is currently blocking the fallopian tube and the ovary section. Hence, no ovaries will be formed, sperms won't meet it, and yeah, no zygote is formed. Now these all have their advantage. What about the disadvantage? What can be the other side of these methods? Well, for chemical, yes, they will help, but it might overbalance the hormones present in your body, and it can cause side effects if taken excess, or in one can cause side effects to your body. Next, we have the barrier method, and there's no disadvantage for that. So barrier method is safe. Yeah. And next we have the surgical method. Yes, but it is safe in the long run, but it can cause infections. Not only STDs, but also other types of infections which can cause irritation to your body. And of course, I really don't want my voice to freeze. And then IUCD, copper T. Copper T, yeah, the same advantage, but the disadvantage is it can cause irritation, like I said before, in the uterus. And of course, it may cause a tingle feeling, and I have an experience with that. That's what I read in the book and the webs. If you want to check it how they feel, you can go check in the Google. Check in Google. And yeah, that's all. If you have any doubts, please write in the comment section. And so that's all. Okay. Yeah, for the advantages of these population control, these methods, they will prevent and they will avoid unwanted pregnancy. It will help maintain the population for a period of time. And yes, it will prevent the people from getting infected, helps women have comfortable life. And another thing for population control, it's okay to have one or two children, but don't have like triples or quadruples, because trust me, it's going to be a hard job. Because if you have quadruples or a huge number of children, the first thing that's going to come to mind, the education, dress. That you have to pay money, right? And sooner or later you might run out of money. So, and one more thing, the government has been providing some safety help groups, not SHG, but they provide lessons or classes for parents who are pregnant, and telling them it's okay to have one or two children, and it's best to have that, because that time you can have a happy time, you can it's all right with the money. And that's all. See ya. Hope to see you in the next class. Bye. Then bye. Please comment, like, share and subscribe to this channel. If you have any doubts, you know what to do.